The page.
Oh, my bad. So, Pat, I feel like we're back now. That's so weird. We're just
Are we the
we're-
bad? Are we the bad boys of YouTube? Like, what's going on here?
Well, the folks, people got a screenshot, and we'll move on. Like we'll move on to the third game here. But people
Sure.
got a screenshot saying we violated the community guidelines. Good, bad boys. What's he gonna do? All right, let's move on. That was ridiculous. I'm sorry, everybody. We're flustered now. Cool. All right, moving on to the third game. You ready, Pat?
But we have no choice. We got to move on.
That was weird. All right. Roughnecks and Rock. We're going to try to lead off the gambling. I'm kidding. Roughnecks Rock. Now, Graham Perro made on his NLLchatter.com. I want to read you part of this because I know we can talk about the game itself, but he talked about the parking at the Rock's renovated Hamilton Arena, or whatever it is. And I want to read this to you. The arena is attached to a large indoor mall called Jackson Square. There's an underground parking garage directly under Jackson Square. But even after the renovations, there is no way to access the parking garage from the arena, which is very odd. You have to leave the arena and try to find an unlocked door into the closed mall. He goes on to say that to add insult to injury, the outdoor parking garage down the street used to be operated by the city of Hamilton. There was an app you could pay for parking. Now it's like going up by $10. And the parking attendant who said sometimes it might be limited to the 5th floor and up. And Graham already had to go to the 3rd floor and up. What is going on? It's weird.
Listen.
Oh, no.
Listen.
Oh, no.
This seems like a lot of first world problems. I love Graham. I love what he does. But okay, it's the first game in the new building. It's a lot of things they're ironing out.
Sure.
The garage, I think, was always a problem. Like I never parked there because I found the same thing. I can't get back. What do, Graham? Go across the street, park outside. I know it's going to be a little chilly, but there's always spots right there, and it's maybe the prices did go up because the city of Hamilton's got to pay for that, all those new fancy renovations that they did, right? So, but I park across the road. I always park there. It's super cheap. There's no it never closes because it's an outdoor parking. Right. With that being said, though, yes, obviously you would think one of the flaws that were in the old building was the fact that you couldn't get in there. You think maybe that would have been one of the changes that they made.
Right.
I hope this. If Graham is, and again, that was a little tongue in cheek to Graham, but I see what he's trying to say here. But I hope parking's not going to deter people from coming out. Like, I think it's a downtown metropolis. I know there's other options. Like, it's the one I use all the time, right across the road on, I guess it would be the east side of the building. I know there's that other parking garage that he's talking about down the road. There are other options, people. There are other options. I hope that doesn't become a problem because it would be really disappointing with all the great new renovations they made, how pretty it looked on TV. The fact that like now parking is going to be an issue and people are going to be like, again, the casual sports fan going to be like, it's such a nightmare getting down there. I don't want to park, blah, blah, blah. If that's keeping people away, then yeah, that would be concerning for me. Am I saying it's a concern right away? No, but hey, Mike, I'll report back in a couple of weeks or a couple of months when I go there for TSN. And if I see the same things Graham does, then sure, I'll let you know and I'll say, okay, we might be having a problem here.
Ask Graham to write on his page. That'd be nice.
Exactly.
I couldn't find any storylines from this game besides that. And by the way, I found out when I ran the commercial earlier that showed I'll just call it MYB. I won't say anything else. Apparently, YouTube said that's not following a sale of regulated goods policy. So here I was thinking the polar bears could give us money one day. That apparently not going to happen either because we might get screwed off of YouTube. So y'all can stay in Antarctica and have fun. Damn it! All right, so we're back. Okay, so I have to change the commercial block after today. I apologize. That's what happened. That's a pain in the butt. All right. Again, the storylines for this game, I couldn't really find any. I know The Rock, good job of the win. They held on. They didn't hold on. They led, then they came back. Part of Captain's part, PAR, I'll just call it a ladder. Part of the ladder is this, the Rock won. I can't even say the word money line. I'm scared to death now, but you get it. Friday shows are canceled.
I guess so. Go
ahead. Anything from The Rock?
Obviously, I think that I don't know. Does this make us feel like Calgary is a lot better than we thought, or is Toronto maybe not as good as we thought they would be? I'm kind of leaning towards, I think Calgary is a lot better than what we thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I that's what I think. I think it's Calgary is a lot better of a team than a lot of us had pegged in the preseason.
You're correct, because remember, the whole reason we're talking about the Rush blowing leads is because the Roughnecks were the first one to do it, and it's was that more about Calgary being bad? But if Calgary is going to keep on playing like making teams play with their food, it's funny how the Wings and the Roughnecks. I mean, I know. Who could have seen it coming? They may still be under 6 wins and might give every team hell. I love it though.
Yeah.
There's got to be a team that finishes last and second to last. But boy, if they're gonna make it fun, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and they are a fun team to watch. The offense is explosive. I think defensively, they like getting under your skin. I thought Aiden Walsh had a great bounce back game, finishing with 42 saves. The Rock offense looked a little bit better than they did in game one. Still showed some lulls throughout the game. The fact that the matter is this. Okay, so Josh Dawick had a much better game. I thought he looked pretty good in that one.
Yeah.
After being, pretty underwhelming in game one.
Correct.
Mark Matthews looking like he's still slowly getting his sea legs back after a long layover. Bushi was fantastic. So I thought the righties were a lot better. But that being said, Kirst and Hiltz are leading this team in scoring.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous.
So whether that is just hey, these two young guys are going to be driving the bus all season long, or it's okay, we need a little more support from the other guys. Maybe that's just it. And I will say this as well. I know he got a lot of love on social. I loved him after game one. I love him here. Sam English is an absolute weapon. I love the way he plays. And him and Michael Grace should, and I know I just gave praise to Kirst and Hiltz. I think Sam English and Mike Grace are 1A, 1B right now for Rookie of the Year for me. They've been so good.
Yeah, and Sam English, the Swiss Army, he's becoming a Zach Currier or a what's another one? Adam Patra at this point. Who's another guy? There's another guy I'm thinking of from this week that was a Swiss Army knife. Mike Messenger. You're another guy who should be an MVP, might not ever be because of the way the current system works. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's so electrifying on the floor. I love his game. You're right. This is a guy that probably could be playing offense for the Rock if they really, really need to. His goal, that little jab step, took it in the net, jumps up. It felt like his hang time was for 5 minutes, and very Zach Currier-esque the way that he scored that goal. It's a carbon copy, just a right-handed shot instead of a left-handed shot. So Toronto, I've always at the start of the year, I think I came on your program and said I think this is a team that should be competing for a top 4 spot, hosting a playoff game. Maybe expectations a little bit high, but after 2 games, this is a playoff team. This is absolutely a playoff team. And maybe they don't score as many goals as they had in years past. But if Nick Rose can be solid, that defense in front of them is so athletic, so ferocious. Latrell Harris continues to terrify forwards across the league. Brad Kreese, one of the best takeaway defenders in the game. This Rock team is
Billy
quite fine.
Hofstrauser.
Billy Hofstrauser, mean guy. Yeah, they're mean. They're a mean back end that's super athletic,
Yes.
and I don't think they need to put up 15 goals a game because I think just defensively, Nick Rose are going to be able to hold down the fort.
I think scoring. It's funny they scored 11. I think scoring probably. I mean, obviously 10 can win you a few games if you're defense. I think 10 to 13 is going to be the sweet spot for them all year.
Yep, I agree. The number that jumped in my head was 12, so I think you're.
I was going to say 12. Yeah,
there.
10 to 12. Yep. All right. And by the way, my answer to the question is the Rock Home Arena parking an issue? I don't know. I don't live in Canada. Next. Halifax Buffalo. Oh, Pat.
Banger.
You really wish you did this game, don't you?
Hey, you know what? It would have been really fun to call this game. Absolutely.
Are the T-Birds now, and again, we're going to use an extra word here. Are they the top contenders, tier contenders? No. Are they firmly? We're talking when you think of Vancouver, Buffalo, Halifax, who just beat Buffalo, Saskatchewan, all four. It's now a big four. We got to start with a 2 or 3 talk.
At the start of the year, Mike, I said that there was a definitive tiers in the league, and I had tier number 1 was Buffalo, Vancouver, Saskatchewan. Tier 2 were teams like Halifax, Rochester, Oshawa. And then after that, another big tier of everyone else. And then at the bottom was Philly and Calgary.
Correct.
Halifax is in that top tier.
Woo!
Halifax 100% is in that top tier. Warren Hill has been unbelievable to start the year.
Correct.
And everyone and their mother were saying Halifax's Halifax's goaltending's not good enough. Drew Hutchison should be in net. They should actually great move by picking up another goalie. Get Getty in there. Trade for a goalie. You name it. I know it's only 2 games, but those are 2 of the best games I've ever seen Warren Hill play. This guy has a chip on his shoulder coming into this season, proving to the haters, which there are many, that he is a legitimate number 1. They now have won a game where it was an absolute blowout and a game where it's tight. You go into Bandit land and you find a way to win. You have a heartbreaker. You think you win the game. They call the goal back. Then you go into overtime, and Clark Peterson, again with the game on his stick, scores his 3rd goal of the game, makes Mitch Desnew. I don't know what Mitch Desnew was doing on that play, man.
Oh, yeah.
But just like a turnstile gets burned, and a beautiful move by Peterson to bury that. And for you to win that game, scoring 9, only having Randy Stotts with 3 points and no goals. Mike Robinson held to no goals. This team has depth. This team has guys that can go off on any night. It doesn't just have to be 1 or 2 guys. They can win with defense and transition. They clearly can win with Warren Hill. And the offense just did enough to knock off my number 1 team in the league in Buffalo. And even after that loss, I still think the Bandits are the team to beat. Until they don't win a championship, I'm still saying they're the champs. But Halifax has earned a spot in that top tier in my books, 1,000%.
I'm going to do my best to be fair. I feel like I tell people this, I've always tried to be, but sometimes it doesn't come across as fair and objective here. Last week, after Halifax smacked the doors on Oshawa 11-2, I say, historical game from Warren Hill. They moved up 2 spots to number 9. I can definitively say they'll be at least 7 or 6, maybe higher. I will say, if this game would do they play each other twice this year?
They do, yes. They play again February 14th, aka the Mackie Jenner Bowl.
Oh, and also yes. Is that like the love thing?
Love is in the air.
Yeah. So, maybe I know the AI voice will say it for us this time, but I do like the old guy. Love is in the air. I like his voice better. Anyways, I will say, I'm still scared, and it's not because of Warren Hill. Frick did not like a take I had this week on Twitter. I'm very much on Twitter, folks. I know I had a great weekend loving me. I said Mike Accursi enables these penalties. It's almost like he encourages them. Frick and Cap Lax called that a horrible take. Good for y'all. Here's my issue. I am shocked that through all those power plays, Buffalo could not find a way to break that game open. Because in my opinion, Halifax gave them a golden goose of power plays and penalties. They kept on slamming guys in the boards, playing their cheap shot style. And it's like, to me, this team is too talented to play, and not just on the edge. They crossed the lines. Jake Withers, as great, and I mean Jake Withers is a great lacrosse player. He crosses, even if it's not far, he doesn't toe the line. He'll go 60% sometimes in terms of like player, I don't want to say safety, but just like this. He goes in here, it's like too much under your skin. They're not dirty players, but it's like you're crossing the line too much for me. And I feel like, again, I'll say this. I know I said a lot to say nothing here. Let's say I will put them, yes, in tier 1. They are still at the bottom of tier 1 for me because I believe those top 3 teams in a 3-game series are going to find a way to overcome that. If you're that talented, like we've seen them display thus far, why the entire first quarter took like an hour because they wouldn't stop the 5-minute major stuff. And that is going to bite them hard in the butt like it has for the past 2 or 3 years. Again, if they're composed, they might win the whole thing, Pat. So now I can trust Warren Hill. The next level of trust for me is, can you play lacrosse that doesn't give the other team 10 more power plays than you? You can't win like that. Your talent can win you a lot of games. You can't win a championship like that, man. But yes, so tier 1. There you go.
Do you know how? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Do you know how many penalty minutes they had that game?
Oh God, I'm looking at it right now. They had 2, 4, 6. Was that 12? Maybe.
I'll help you. They had 14.
14.
They had 14 because they had 14 because Randy Stotts had the double minor.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Buffalo had? 12.
Yeah. Correct.
They had 2 penalty minutes less. You know who also plays tough and is over and sometimes goes over the line? The Buffalo Bandits.
Absolutely.
It is coined Buffalo Bandits ball. Is playing me.
It's also Bandits in the crease too. But no comment. So you're right about that. Yeah. No.
But here, let me get to this. This because I do agree with Frick and I do agree with Cap Lax because I can tell you, I've had conversations with Mike Accursi. Our first conversation before their first game said, what's the one thing you want to see your team improve on this year that you felt that held you guys back from making the finals? Discipline. Discipline.
Well, I guess I was, okay, well, I can compromise on that because I guess if he is willing to admit that's his first thing and not having the goaltender, that's his first thing, I'll compromise. At least he knows it's an issue. But someone, I don't know if it's him, but someone's got to tell them, guys, come on.
So what I'll say is he's not enabling it. And maybe you can say this, that he needs to do, and maybe it's true. Maybe he needs to do a better job of holding some guys accountable when they do take those selfish penalties or they do cross the line. And he told me that they are doing that internally. Now it's probably a little bit different when you win the game and it's such a, but I do still think at practice this week, there might be a little bit more running because of, those penalties. What I will say is much like face-offs are not created equally, I think penalties are also not created equally because they didn't take a single penalty in that fourth quarter.
Good point.
When it was time to behave yourself,
put the boots on, yeah.
That's what they did. You know what? Maybe it's like, hey, first quarter, let's go in there and show that we're not afraid of
Buffalo fell for it, but I feel like some teams won't. That's another thing. But yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
And Buffalo's a team that you can play that game with because Buffalo ain't backing down.
And they're gonna, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But if you go up against a team, let's say like a Georgia, who they'll get punched in the face and they're just going to sit there and allow you to just walk into the penalty box and try to beat you, right? So you got to pick your game. I like where you're headed and I understand what you're saying, but here's my combatants, and I say they're aware of it. They're going to handle it. And the thing that I really liked about it was when it came to the fourth quarter, they stopped, because in years past, you are right. Look at the way their season ended last year. The major penalty, the check from behind from Mike Robinson. This has been a problem, and I can admit it. It was a problem, and they have admitted it, but they are looking to address it. And I think through at least 2 games, they have addressed it. Let's see what happens though when this they're on top of the mountain. They're feeling great. Let's see what happens when things unravel. They go on their first losing streak. Then I think we can have this conversation again.
Sure. And again, I like that. You don't want it to snowball. As long as you keep it because Albany, I praised them for a couple of years for doing it. But it's because I knew they could compose themselves when it mattered. So like I said, if Halifax does that, like I said, I'm on the championship bandwagon with them. As long as I see that, I feel really good. So
that's fair. That's beyond fair.
Moving on, Kai the goalie says we're taking shots on and off the field for the Swarm, catching strays.
That was a good thing. That's a good thing. I said that George is one of the most disciplined and even keeled teams in the league.
And by the way, big win for Thunderbirds. The fact that the Bandits were able to avoid the regulation loss and still within the first minute, that was great win for Halifax. It was a big step for them.
Yeah, gigantic. Absolutely gigantic.
Oshawa, Georgia. A game probably no one watched, if I'm being honest. Dude. Okay, so last week, Pat, we had a little thing called a panic meter. I know that's your button in front of you right there. Kind of like your Kim Jong-un desk button there. I told you I could see mine over here. Firewolves offensive panic meter out of 10. Last week you were at a 6, maybe you were a 7. And I was at a 2. So would you like to go first? I'm looking for a button, actually. Go ahead. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. That's rough.
I'm hitting the panic button.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the panic button. 3 games in a row. Sample size has been big enough. Yes, you look at the opponents. Toronto Rock, one of the best defensive teams in the league. Halifax, historic game from Warren Hill. 3rd game, a great performance from Dobson. I get it. There are some external factors, some outliers, but 5 goals, it just can't happen in the National League. I'm sorry, Mike. There's too much front end talent. And I'll tell you this, man, Alex Simmons is still in the top 10 of scoring right now. He's doing his job. And now, yes, he got shut out in game 2, but he comes out, scores 3, does everything he can. It's the depth, and I said it last week. The depth score. This is insane by Spencer Conley.
Ridiculous. Shout out to Nighthawks Network. This is a certified Ryan Smith moment. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's depth scoring is the biggest thing for me. It can't just be Simmons and Kurtz all the time, and even Kurtz, what 2 goals? You need 2 points more than 2 points from Kurtz, anyways. But at least he was one of the guys that did something here, and I'm really looking forward to part of me, yes, part of me, no, because I think he's probably going to be really pissed off. I'm looking forward to talking to Glenn Clark this week in preparation for our game on Saturday, because it's got to be frustrating. There's too much talent on this team for them not to. I feel for Doug Jamieson, man.
Oh,
the dude's got an 8.34 goals against average.
It's not fair.
Sorry, it's even better. 7.98. 8.39 save percentage. And the guy is 1-2 right now. Give the dude a little bit of run support. It feels like I'm watching baseball where there's always that ace pitcher on a team that whenever he takes the mound, the bats go silent and he ends up pitching a gem and there's no run support. That's the exact same thing that's happening. And yes, if you want to dive deeper in the issue, there is an issue. It's way too perimeter. It's way too perimeter. Shots from the outside. The guy's not willing to. There you go. Loose mess there saying it. You got to get to the middle of the floor. You have to find a way to get the dirty areas. The only one that's doing that right now is Alex Simmons, and he's the only one that's paying the price. They got to find a way to get to the middle, get to the dirty areas, and score at a consistent level. You got to do it with a purpose. And I can tell you this. I would not be surprised if we see a change this week, whether I don't know if we're talking about a trade. I don't know if we're talking about someone from the practice roster getting called up. But I do not see Oshawa rolling the exact same lineup into game number 4. It can't happen. Something's got to change. There needs to be a message sent that what is happening right now is not good enough, and the lineup has to look different.
Before I give my answer, did you see the Adam Levy tweets about this offense so far?
I did not.
The 1996 Cobras went 0-10 and averaged like 8.5 goals per game, which is like the lowest in league history. Firewolves got like a 5.
Yeah,
it was only 3 games, but that's not good.
Yeah, anytime a stat is compared to the Charlotte Cobras, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Even though I love the Bucks logo, I'm not.
Oh, I know. It's great. It's great. I hope they resurrect it one of these days. But
yeah,
Alex Simmons leading the team with 10 points. Solid in the top 10 of scoring. Kurtz, 7 points in 3 games. Not bad. After that, Ethan Walker, 4. Tiger Clark, 4. Dyson Williams, 4. Patrick Kaschuk, 2. A defender. Kyle Jackson, 2 assists. Doug freaking Jameson is in your top 10 of scoring right now. Can't happen. Can't happen. Doug Jameson has more points than Jonathan Peshko, who has played 3 games of offense. Peshko has 0 points. What are we doing here?
Nathan Grennan would be nice. I mean, honestly, he wouldn't fix this, but it would help a little bit.
Well, anything would be better than what it is right now. And that's why I think a guy like Howie Francis, who's on their practice roster, maybe a Dante Koulis comes into the lineup, something's got to give, man.
Spark a fire.
Yeah, something has to change. Maybe you go 3 righties, maybe allow Simmons and Kurtz and Clark to play a little more. I don't know, Mike. Something's got to give, man. This team has too much talent to just be putting up 5 goals a game right now.
For the record, this is the worst stat I've ever seen in my life. Ethan Walker and Dyson Williams combined for 0 points on 28 shots and had 6 turnovers.
Yeah,
that's
got to be better. Got to be better.
That'll give you 5 goals.
Yep.
So here's my pin. I brought up my little AirPods too. Here's my panic meter. So you're at a 10 now, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it's a 10. Okay. I hit it.
I'm at a 9. I can't do it yet. I can't do it.
Okay. Okay.
I think I don't know, like, what they're not going to change, like, where they play. They're playing it on Friday. TSN. What is that game? Oshawa versus
Oshawa against this team right here, Vancouver.
Jeez, that's right. Also, there's rumors there might be some boots on the ground, but I'll have to figure out. I'm saying we're hoping. We're hoping. But yeah, I'm at a 9. Now I'm not so happy who they're playing because we're going to talk about Vancouver. Is it the next game here? It's the next one. Yeah. So let's get to that now because Vancouver, was this more about them being back in business or the Dogs in trouble? Does Vancouver look good?
I'm going to say this is more about Vancouver. I really do think so. I really, really do think so. Their offense looked great. They were sharing the ball really well. Defensively, I thought they looked pretty solid as well too. Del Bianco was phenomenal. I thought he was outstanding. Anytime Vegas looked like they were starting to make any sorts of strides, Vancouver would come out with a big goal. Keegan Ball and Charlene Beatties. It's hilarious that those 2 guys there, the 2 guys that were there before, are the ones who end up with more points. Dixon and King looked solid as well, though.
Absolutely.
Claridge had a solid game. Transitionally, they got some goals as well. I think Simpson had a couple of points.
Garrison, Sheridan, Cormier. Cormier had a goal. Yeah. Woohoo!
Yep, Cormier scored, which was good to see him get involved.
Correct.
Vegas, I'm not going to hit the panic button yet or say like, oh, same old Vegas. I will say this. Same issues that happened that we were talking about before the season was goaltending. It was you yank Kells, you put Bouquet in, who actually looked okay.
After the
But I
first
don't
4 he gave up, yeah.
Yeah, but like again, 60 save percentage from Kells, 72 from Bouquet. That's not going to win you lacrosse games. I'm sorry. The offense looked a lot actually looked vastly improved. I thought they were snapping it around really well. I thought Jonathan Donville looked fantastic.
Yeah.
He was poised. Patra looked really good. Kluche in the first half, I thought was kind of forcing it a little bit.
I was going to say forcing, yep.
But in that second half, he looked a lot better. Mitch Jones had a bit of a rough night, but that's just because he was getting beat up against Dilks and Grant, and anytime he was on the floor, one of those top Vancouver defenders were guarding him, so it was a bit tougher for him. Still ends up with 3 points. But you don't have Chase. You're expecting
that was rough.
You expect going into that game that you have Chase Fraser, one of the pieces that you thought all season long. You probably built some power plays around them, some set pieces around it, and then warm ups happen, and he's not out. So I'd like to see them at a full strength before I say, okay, they're in trouble. But I will say that the problems and the issues that we thought we would have with this group are staring at us right in the face.
Yeah. And I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't think that that Vegas is going to lose games if they have good goaltending. I think Fraser, even if he doesn't, let's say Fraser, Kluche, Jones, Don, still a good team. Even without Fraser, it's still a good team. The goaltending was not very impressive. I know, I believe Joel Watson's going to come on the show tomorrow to talk about that. I haven't confirmed that yet, but it didn't feel good. But I'm actually with you on this one. More about Vancouver. Because Vancouver, Kermilowski had been publicly tearing them a new one. In the little things that he said, he's like, guys, like, well, he was not happy with the preseason. They lay an egg against Colorado, and they're at home again. They got to make a statement. And what do? They get to Kells early, which is exactly how you beat the Desert Dogs. So they like you said, the offense, Ball and Bees were really good. Everyone else followed. Then they're going to do that every game where they're going to have 2 guys step up and everyone else will follow. Just pick and choose your guy. So I think Vancouver, Del Bianco making saves, more like he always saves it and then covers it up. It's insane how he does that. That skill's on another level.
His rebound control is one of the best in the game.
Yes. And another thing I'll say is much like Oshawa's got a really good defense through 3 games. Their offense is miserable. We were about to have a conversation with Vancouver until they did this in this game. So again, they showed, again, I know it's just the Desert Dogs goalies, but you get to Kells, you run them out the building. That's what happened. Good for Vancouver. It's not fixed yet, but it was a major step showing, okay, we are pretty dang good at what we do. So I don't mind that at all.
100%.
Final game. We'll get to the 3 stars here. Rochester against San Diego in San Diego. First of all, again, I'll mention this. Cooper Perkins, Nick Ocello. I mean, I cannot say it. Every week I feel like they do a game in that dark San Diego Pechanga Arena. It's like they got ESPN2 when it finally did start on there. Those guys are just like the Friday night TSN crew. You guys make the league look so good. And like just whenever, like Rylan Hartley makes that ridiculous save, it's like awesome. Cooper going crazy, and then Nick was so, it makes music to my ears. All right, now, more impressive though, the Nighthawks defense. Maybe you can include their goaltending. Obviously, that helps, or their offense because both look pretty good.
It's the offense certainly for
Agreed.
me. I will say that if we're talking about defense, 65 shots against.
Correct.
A lot of like open naked looks. So I'll change my answer. What was most impressive? Their offense, their defense, or their goaltending? Their goaltending was the most impressive. 58 saves from Hartley. He was unconscious. He was unbelievable. anytime it felt like San Diego was making a push, he came up with a big stop and a ridiculous stop. That's the thing with Hartley. There's going to be 1 or 2 goals a game where you're like, God, you got to have that.
Yeah.
But there's going to be 4 or 5 where you're going to be like, how did he have that? He is such a special talent, and if he can stay healthy, this
Correct.
Rochester team is we can think about putting Rochester in that tier of with Halifax and with Buffalo and with Vancouver and Saskatchewan. First game, I don't want to put them there just yet because I do think defensively there are some holes there, and they didn't have Ryland Reese, which I think, in my opinion, is one of the more underappreciated defenders in the game. But the way that offense clicks, McConvey, that was, I think, the best game I've ever seen him play. Lansbury and Smith were fantastic. Fields was great. Here's the thing, Mike, that I think was the most impressive thing out of all of this. Rochester scored 15, and Zed Williams didn't have a single point.
Woof.
This offense is so scary, man. They have so many weapons. They can sting you in so many different ways. I would say that I want to see a little bit more. I'd love for them to, a lot, like, because let's be honest, like, Hartley's not making 58 saves a game. It's just not realistic.
No,
so if
they
can, I know, if they can reduce some of the shots, especially the high danger shots that Hartley was facing, this team is going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem because that offense, that's just not a one-off. That's not a one-off at all. That's not a one-off at all. This is a very, very, very good offensive unit. I think we're talking about this being the best offensive unit in the game.
I'm glad that Spencer said McConvey. I'm also a new commenter, I believe. The Mimico Truck. He may have commented before, but I don't remember. Is a game of runs, and where is it when the buzzer in the third sounds? Not sure what that means. I know there's one play at the end of the first half.
Oh, I think he means the fourth, the third, meaning the third. He's a Mimico guy, so he's probably a summer ball guy. But he's trying to say, like, when the game's over, that's what matters.
Yeah, because there's going to be highs. Period, that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. It's a game of runs, but what matters is at the end of the game what the score is.
Correct. I like it. Great translation there. A little bit.
I'm very fluent in Canadian.
Hey.
Buddy.
Yeah. So Thomas McConvey was the reason why I thought it was absolutely the offense. When you can add the fact that we all know Connor Fields and Ryan Smith are amazing. Lansbury had more points than Ryan Smith last year. And Thomas McConvey, who kind of was, hiding behind those guys is hard to do. But when you can now be almost the second best, maybe the best player on the floor for that offense, they're ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Like, if he takes that giant lead, which it looks like he's going to because he looks so comfortable. They're all you bet the over or hope that the defense is going to just I don't know how to stop him. Honest to God.
No.
Ryan Hartley, the thing that was more impressive than that save where he came back to the crease was there was like 3 shots in a row in the third quarter where he faced like a 1-on-none. I'm like,
oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
That made no sense to me.
Yeah.
I
will say this. I don't know why teams shoot low on him.
Mm-mm.
Like every time he's like a butterfly goalie in hockey. He goes down, he goes into splits. I'd be shooting low to high every single time.
Because if there's one weakness, just try to
something different because he's so good down low because he's so athletic. But like I get
you need deceptive shot. Heat might be able to get him maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. You do need deception. You can't go, low to low or high to high. You have to try to fool them. And I'm sure they tried. Berg finished with 14 shots on goal. He walked away, I think, with only one. Yep. Dylan Watson that was probably one of the better games I've seen. Dylan Watson actually looks pretty solid through the first 2. I think the offense, like obviously after last night, you'd be like, oh man, you want more from San Diego. I thought they had their chances.
The first 2 games they've looked really good. Like the fact that Ron Hartley went on here, you can't really stop that. But I mean,
like Pat Cavanaugh had 6 points last night.
Good for Pat, by the way.
Career. Like he looked really, really good. He only
Yeah.
that was his second NLL game. I think he could be a great piece,
Woo.
really, really good piece for them. For me, if we're gonna want to flip conversation over to
Mhm.
San Diego, and I know we don't have an abundance of time, but O'Riglieri through 2 games does not look good
Oh,
at all, man.
no.
And
Start
I
off well.
hope, Mike, it's because he had a limited training camp
The
and
fire,
he's
yeah.
right. He only
Yeah.
came, I think he only showed up for the last week of training camp.
Correct.
Dawson Nielsen might be able to correct me in the the chat right now, but maybe he finds his footing. But he didn't have a great summer. From all indications, a lot of people that's watched a lot more summer ball out west than I did. But
Right.
the games that I watched, he didn't look great, and he has not looked good through 2 games. He's a lot of shots are hitting him and finding the way in the back of the net.
Yeah,
There's
I
too
gotta
many
finish
times
that.
where he's making a save and like looking around to see where the ball is. And as a goaltender, that's like one of the first indications that he's not confident, he's not tracking the ball well.
I was gonna say
So
that, yeah.
it still is early, especially early for him, considering this is only week 3 back for him when it's training camp, game 1, game 2.
Sure.
If he can find his footing, okay, we're fine. I think San Diego is actually a pretty solid team
Because their
how good
defense is good enough to help him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like they're giving up shots that he normally that's the shot you want to give up. And now you could tell later in games they're overextending. They're pressing out further than they normally would. They're sliding early because they know their goaltender's
They're
kind
trying
of
to save the guy
struggling.
who makes the saves. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not pretty right now. Dunkerley
Point.
looked okay. He looked okay when he came in, but if this team's going deep, it's going to be on the back of O'Riglieri.
Yeah,
He's
it's
going to take
kind of like
the
Warren Hill with the Halifax. You don't want Dunkerley, you don't want Hutchinson. You want your guy.
Yeah, so it's early. It's 2 games, but the first 2 games I've seen, that ain't the O-Rig that I know. That's not the
Nope.
O-Rig from 2 seasons ago. He
Nope.
he needs to find something here because they might be going to Dunkerley if it's they can't wait around. The NLL is too short of a season. You can't give your goalie 5-6 games to figure it out. Like by that point, you could be too far out of the playoff race.
Correct. Alrighty, so now I will give my 3 stars and we'll finally get out of here. I know that my ad did not help us here. We'll do our best though. 3rd star for me. Nope, sorry, just have to show them real quick. Let's do the box. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, 3rd star for me. Yeah, thank you. Nick Demude. What a good game.
Awesome.
We thought he was going to be the best goalie of the weekend. Not so fast. But yeah, number 2, a guy who on Friday we thought might win star of the weekend. 5 primary assists and a 4 goal on the 4th quarter was ridiculous. Also got a block. I don't know where it was, but he got a block. I believe that there was a couple of times where he actually got back in transition.
Dude, he was playing defense a lot, man.
And that's new because I know I've seen Dane and others. I've not seen Teague do it. And that's a step like, oh my, don't let him get good at that now. Woo.
Yeah, he was tracking back. I actually do remember the play. He goes back in transition and it was a quick shot. Stuck his stick up and blocked it. It was actually a really nice play.
Great. Good for him.
Yeah, it was a really nice play.
I mean, who knew? 89 is woof. That we've
ridiculous, Mike.
We've had some goalies that have looked really good. You've had some
it's
nasty performances.
It's crazy. I think a little bit is the offense looking a little bit out of sync early on, but
sure,
the defenses have been so good. I do know I have to go back. I know it might be in Ty Merrow's his column this week for when he goes through all his stats. And if you're not following him yet, you definitely need to
Ty MER Lax still.
Yes, you got to give him a look. Go to his website. I think he's going to talk about it. But like through 3 weeks, like we're I think averaging like 2 to 3 less goals than normally we see at this point. And I think he's going to do a little bit of a deep dive to see like, is it the goaltending? Is it the offenses? What is it? And so I think that's something he's going to be working on. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to drop.
Cool.
And I know it's probably going to be one of our big talking points with Oshawa this week on Friday, because you got a struggling Oshawa team that can't score going up arguably the best goalie and the best defense in the league. Not a great recipe to break out of a slump. I'll tell you that much. Let's go, Kai. Let's go.
He's Kai the goalie is it's unbelievable.
10-1. What a route.
Yeah, this guy he wants to get involved in the goalie talk there. Kai does not want to hear it's all about the offense. No, we don't hear that.
No, it's the goalies. It's goalies. Kai is a firm member of the goalie union. That's for sure.
Maybe he'll join the goalie factory one day. I've seen that page pop up a few times too. Shout Caleb Cullen on that. All right, folks, that's it for today. That's how Mondays go. If Frick comes on next week, we can split the games. But hey, Pat held it down once again. But we hope that Frick can join eventually. 4 guys combined for 31 points. Yeah, much Rochester love. Thanks for sticking through both videos. I will try to upload the Pat segment in one segment later on. But you all have a great day, Pat. Thank you again, and stay safe, everybody.
Thanks for having me, Mike.